Welcome to another session of weCONECT, where we explore the ideas, companies, and key players that continue to raise the bar in eDiscovery.
Hello and welcome to another episode of weCONECT. Today we are speaking with New York-based Marc Hirschfeld, the president and founder of Precision Legal Services. Welcome to our dialogue today, Marc.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Good. And our goal today is to find out a little bit about what makes you tick, what makes Precision tick, how you're the same, how you're different, and maybe you could start off by telling us a little bit about Precision Legal.
Well, Precision Legal, it's really my baby. I started it in 2008 after being an associate at a small boutique construction litigation firm in DC. In 2003, I was a law clerk in this law firm, and a year later, I became an associate. And I still remember I had my first case involved 4 million email records in 2003. And the mess that was around at that time was very, very difficult to deal with. And on and off for the next few years, I kept thinking, I really want to get involved in the eDiscovery space, but didn't really see the jump in time. And I ended up taking another position at a real estate fund. At the end of that time, it was 2008. So it was a pretty bad time to be in real estate. And the company that I was working with is actually involved in an eDiscovery dispute. And I was able to take the reins from the beginning to the end. And I said, okay, this is what I was built for. I was built for working in legal technology and never looked back since then. So that was the start of Precision Legal Services back in 2008.
Good stuff. And you, I believe, our family and work is in New York. Is that really the focus of your business, or does it go outside that as well?
So most of my business is in Maryland, and I shuffle back and forth between Maryland and New York. It's about 2 weeks in 2 weeks. I lived in Maryland most of my professional career, and I moved to New York just a short time ago. So I still have business in both places. So it's a little bit of a tough challenge right now, especially with the world being so changed. But the truth of the matter is that my market is small boutique litigation firms that do not have dedicated resources for eDiscovery. And I'm not talking about like paralegals. Paralegals are the greatest things that ever happened. But I'm talking about dedicated eDiscovery people that literally just spend their day liaisoning with vendors and their attorneys on loading documents and things like that.
Sure.
So that's a typical client, because what I found was that I have a very unique approach towards eDiscovery, and it comes from the legal side that I started out with. Is I approach every matter as if I'm the attorney. If I was the attorney, how would I deal with this? And some of these big law firms or litigation support firms, they have their commoditized way of dealing with issues. Like, as an example, let's collect every computer. Well, that's very good for the vendor. It costs a lot, but is it best for the client? Is it reasonable for the client? So I could add value, a lot of value, in helping attorneys determine what is reasonable, and a lot of the times it ends up saving the client a lot of upfront funds. So.
Yeah, no, and again, there's a lot of technology out there to help you do that. I mean, you've got choices in the marketplace like everyone does. Is there anything about the iCONECT platform that you have found that helps you achieve some of the goals with your clients?
Absolutely. I mean, the best thing that I did for my business was partner with iCONECT. I believe that we've been working together for about 8 years.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. And the last 4 or 5 years, I've been a platinum provider of iCONECT services. And what it does is it helps me make my client attorneys so much more efficient. First of all, in communicating with me. So what we've done is we've customized the issues panels and all the tagging panels for any new matter that comes in. We have a default panel that we've created, which iCONECT has helped us develop on the side, so that every new matter has the same functions. And some of those functions are, whether a document has been reviewed or not, or it's pending review, or
Sure.
whether it's responsive or not responsive. And I remember some of the first classes that I took with iConnect, and they explained some of those benefits, and we've really taken that to I think the next level in allowing clients to, first of all, be super focused, hyper focused on the first aspects of making a production is, how do you review these documents? What are you looking for? So it could
Yeah.
get really confusing, like, oh, these are really interesting documents, but do you want to produce them? Do you not want to produce them? That's the real question that you need to
Yeah.
ask first. Later on, or in a different panel, you may want to have your issues of what you're looking for your own case. But there's a lot of communication that needs to get done. And when you have a million emails and you're saying this one yes and this one no and this one yes and this one no, what I found is, especially with smaller law firms, is they would start collecting the emails from their clients, getting it emailed to them, and then they would forward those emails to me, and it would be just a mess. I mean, we want to produce these, but only the attachments. We want to produce those. With iConnect, it's just the simple click of a button, and we know exactly where it's going to be. We've gotten it down with all the coding and all the back end, where you just click on one little button and it tells you that the document has been reviewed, it's responsive, where it should be going, how it should be produced, and it's really a very efficient process. That's just in general for communication why iConnect has helped us grow our business tremendously since we started using it.
Fantastic.
Most of our clients sit and they're blown away by it. I mean, the speed of it, it's extremely fast. You could go from document to document very quickly. The functionality is just incredible, and frankly, we love it.
Fantastic. And yeah, I know you've been involved in a number of low-profile cases and a number of high-profile cases, and many of which you can't talk about. Are there anything that's sort of memorable where you were able to use the technology to achieve a goal that even you were surprised about?
Well, yeah, I mean, certainly. The the cases that interest me the most are the ones that are the hairiest sometimes.
Yeah.
And one of the hairiest cases that I got involved with was where my client had hired counsel, and it was a trade secret case in federal court in Southern District of New York. And the other side made the case about eDiscovery. And again, we're dealing with smaller law firms, and they got to the point where 2 years into the litigation, the attorneys on the other side were able to make claims against my client that you didn't produce any documents in litigation. Well, they didn't need to, really. Their strategy was, these are not relevant. What does this have to do with us? You stole our documents and you shipped them off to China and you created a new company. What does this have to do with us? That was not a successful argument for the judge. And the client ended up almost facing sanctions. The judge says that if you cannot explain in 30 days why you haven't produced any documents, we're going to sanction you. The client was so fed up that they hired new attorneys, and those new attorneys worked with me very closely. And within 30 days, we were able to produce 150,000 documents. And if not for iConnect's laser fast ability to get those documents up and the review that goes through it, we never would have been able to make that. But we ended up producing those documents, and the judge said something that was very helpful. He said, "I see here that the other side had never provided you with search terms, and I don't know how you could make a claim that they didn't produce the documents if you never gave them search terms." And the response was, "Well, they never asked us for search terms." And the judge says, "Well, you could have picked up the phone and called them. You chose not to. So you're asking me to sanction them for not giving you the documents that you never properly asked for." So in that case, the most interesting part of the whole case in general was how we were able to take that sanctions and actually flip it to the other side, where I was able to get a court order that allowed me to go and copy the other side's computer systems, look through it, and show that they, in fact, exfoliated some evidence and other good little tricks. I know that that's not iConnect related, but that's one of the fun stories that I
Got it.
dealt
Got
with.
it. What's coming down the horizon for Precision? I mean, we're always looking for our businesses to grow. We're all looking over the horizon. You talked earlier that it's a time of change. Is there anything that you're kind of looking over the horizon toward changing or being quite exciting as we move forward?
Yeah, I think that that's a great question. First of all, thank you. Two things. First of all, um, I just spoke at Legal Tech, which was February 2nd weekend. And so this is my first opportunity to really be a participant in Legal Tech from the presenter's point of view. I
Sure.
used to attend Legal Tech all the time, but it was to see new technologies and to hear talks from others. But at this point, we've surpassed that, and it's time to take a seat on the other side. So
Sure.
it was very exciting, and that's on replay through the next few months. So I'm excited about that. And speaking at these kinds of engagements and doing like this kind of a video is very exciting for me because I started my business as word of mouth and really looking to create a reputation, and it's been thir- 13 years almost 13 years that I started this company.
Right.
And I think that it's about time that I've recognized my expertise in the area. And what I realized is that the clients that I typically deal with on a day-to-day basis are people that feel that they can't handle e-discovery. And
Right.
my job and my goal is to make every single one of them. I don't know. I haven't figured out the marketing phrase. Maybe I'll ask you for assistance with it. Is I want to turn them all into e-discovery ninjas. I want each one of them to be able to walk into a meet and confer and know that even if it's a big law firm on the other side, that you as an attorney can eat them for lunch if you're
Yeah.
prepared. That you know that your review is going to go smoothly because we have the right technology, that we have iCONECT behind us to power you, that you have the right tools to be able to copy phones or something like that, and that there's no questions that you could walk through and that you say, I don't feel comfortable about that. That's the
Right.
goal for this year, and my marketing materials are all going to be focused on that. One example is I'm putting out a document that's going to explain. One of the questions I get all the time is, how do I respond to document requests? And I'm putting out a document that shows that there's really three basic types of requests, and based on those three types of requests, the different ways to respond to it. I
Right.
also plan to write a book on e-discovery from a technical point of view. There are so many books out there that talk about the case law, and I think that a lot of the problems that I've seen with the case law is when attorneys are presenting information in a way that doesn't explain the technical issue well. So my book is simply going to be about the technical side. As an example, this is my favorite question: is where do search terms come from?
Hmm.
Almost every case involves search terms, but if you look at the rules don't mention search terms anywhere. And I'll give you a little hint into where the answer to that is. It makes the old rules, the old federal rules said, is it reasonably calculated to lead to the discovery of admissible evidence?
Right.
So the question is this reasonable or not? That's where search terms come in. Search terms
Right.
make an unreasonable request reasonable. And it's similar with the six-part test that the new rules have. It's a similar way analysis of doing that. So this book is designed to be hyper focused on the technical things of getting prepared so that you can actually be well armed in a meet and confer, both on the legal side and on the technical side. The legal side because you're experts in the legal side, and technical with this book will help you become an expert on the technical as well.
Fantastic. Well, it's been a pleasure today. Wrap us up a little bit with how people can find out more about you and more about Precision Legal.
So you can look me up on my website, plsdata.com. We're going to have a lot of exciting new information on there. I'm also on LinkedIn. My name is Marc Hirschfeld, and if you could look up Precision Legal Services. And I'm just getting started with this Facebook thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of Facebook, but apparently they have pages there, which I don't know any attorneys that visit there, but we'll find out if they do. And my page name there is, again, Precision Legal Services. So
that sounds great. Well, today we were speaking on weCONECT with Marc Hirschfeld, the president and founder of Precision Legal Services. And I can add to that list now, entrepreneur, education evangelist, and author. So it's been a pleasure, Marc. Thanks for your time today.
thank you.
weCONECT, brought to you by iCONECT, making information accessible.